Minor villains and antagonists. What are villains? Well, let me put this straight to you. Villains and antagonists are always been, a staple of heroes or villains. So basically, yin and yang. So basically, heroes and villains always should fight. But the aspects of the minor villains and antagonists are quite simply that they are actually the staple of the game of the story. Without them, there is no story. Without them, it's just the heroes going to the final boss at the end. Like, I can name you lots of instances, a lot of stories and all that stuff, where if you didn't have the antagonist, those heroes would defeat the villain in like two episodes, or in just under an hour. The reason why it's long is because it has antagonists. But antagonists aren't treated really respectively as you think they should be. You think everyone should be important in the story. You think that everyone, including the antagonist, should be respected. Well, you're good. You're as good as me. You're as lighthearted as me because I like villains and heroes. But what drives them and what makes them villains and what makes the heroes less boring is the antagonists. And how would I put an antagonist in a story and him not being the main villain, but he acts like a main villain? I always put stories like them, like the stories that I put is that the antagonist is always is like the villain. He's like his own kind of villain. Like in part 5 JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, where every single villain antagonist and all the antagonists have a chance against Shorno, because at the end of every battle of every antagonist, he's left bleeding, or he's left literally like in pain and torture and suffering. And that's good because that means the antagonists actually have a chance of winning. And then you think, oh, they're gonna win, and then no. That's amazing. Amazing writing. Like you can't do that, but you can't do that all the time. But still, I'm just saying, it's amazing writing because no one has actually done it. No one has actually done a minor villain that is unique in his own way, because everyone wants a minor antagonist that just wants the money, fame, and also fortune, or they want something else. And those people that want something else than money and fame, we quite sympathize with, because since therefore they're not going for the money or for the fame, then what are they going for? Meet Whole Horse. Whole Horse in part 3 JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is that he doesn't want to be first place or second place. He doesn't want to be first place. He wants to be second place. And he could have been the hero. He could have actually been the hero. But the creator, Araki, didn't want him to be the hero. And used his character arc for Kira, no doubt. But enough about JoJo. I'm saying about the hero stuff in general. Like, all the stuff in heroes and villains, like, they treat minor villains as like pieces of meat on the ground. Well, they're just people as well. I think the villains and the antagonists should be respected. Like, I can name 5 ways. Like, I can say why antagonists should be respected. Because one, they do their jobs, like you, like everyone else. They do their jobs as a professional, and they try to do their own job. I'm not saying they should win every time. I'm saying that they should have an advantage or some sort. Like, not like getting beat up in 2 seconds and just call it a day. No, I mean that they should have a chance of winning or not winning. You know what I mean? Like, they're respected, there should be respected fight, there should be respected fair fight and fair justice. And that's going to be the aspects of justice in a minute. But if you're wondering, in the superpowers, I said, how is this all connected? Superpowers, let me explain how minor antagonists and minor villains have superpowers. Minor villains and antagonists always have some sort of power. Sometimes, not all of them, but some of them actually don't even have powers in the first place, which makes them okay and not. It's okay, but which is okay. Like, I respect them even if they didn't have a power or not. Because they should, like, I don't say they deserve it. They don't deserve to win. Because, yeah, they don't deserve to win, but they should still have a chance, you know what I mean? Like, motivation is something that, each individuals of us all have. Like, we all have our centered motivation. We all have our own beliefs and our own fair use of justice and morality and all that stuff. But that's also what minor antagonists do. They too just want to do their jobs. They respect their own beliefs. They do their own beliefs. They have their own belief. They have their own fair fight. They have their own way of living out the world, basically, as I'm trying to say. Right now, we're all minor antagonists. We are all antagonists. We are all, because we all try to do our jobs. We all try to do what's best for the world and for us alone. Well, some of us. Some of us do it for the people. Some of us do it for others. But those people who want to do it for themselves and also for, you know what I mean, are minor antagonists. Because it's a fair way to say villains. Like, when we all think of minor antagonists, we all think they're weak and they shouldn't win at every single fight. I'm not saying that they should win. I'm saying that they should have a chance at least. Like, you should give them a chance, because, like, they're all doing the same thing as you guys are doing. Basically, just doing what you think is best and what you think is smart. Like, I don't mean all antagonists are smart, but some of them are actually pretty smart. But the problem is, they just get taken down in like 2 seconds. Like, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna win. I have you figured out. I'll outsmart you," and they outsmart them, and they say, "Oh, I've outsmart you." Nope, you're dead. You're gone. Bye bye. Say goodbye to that minor antagonist. Or the heroes don't give a damn. And also, minor antagonists and also sidekicks. Let me just say sidekicks as well. Minor antagonists and sidekicks. Minor antagonists and sidekicks are quite the same. the minor antagonists are like the henchmen of villains, while the sidekick is a helper of the heroes. Get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is that it's kind of the same thing. The henchmen help the villains out. The sidekick helps out the heroes. Don't you think that's weird? But the sidekick's role is that they can't do anything. Like example, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, not Red Hood, he's an anti-hero. Robin, all the side characters you can think of are all just there for decoration at this point. Because in all the movies and all the free film releases, not in the comics, they try to help. They actually are helpful in the comics than they are in the movies. But they should be more helpful in the movies, to show people that this person isn't what they are. You know what I mean? Like Robin. Like I used to like Robin when I was like 5 years old. I used to like Robin, but then I realized that he's just kind of a dick. That's his name, Dick, and he is a dick. He just kind of is. He just really is, and he's just treated as this person who Batman doesn't care about and just left out to the side, like some Instagram model, just like nope, gone. But I feel like everyone in the story should be important, not just the main character and the main villain. I think everyone should be important. Everyone should be unique in their own abilities and find ways. Like, they all have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and they use that strength against the heroes. And the heroes could lose it. Like, you can see in their eyes, they could lose it. And they see that they are not stronger than they think. And power isn't everything. And that they have learned a valuable lesson that not everyone will, like, not the main villain will defeat them. Like, the main minor villains could defeat them, but that's because they're human inside. They're still human. Even with superpowers, you're still human. You're still mortal. You're still having that emotional connection to a human. Even Superman has a bit of human in him because he loves Lois Lane. And if you take away Lois Lane, he kind of you kind of jumpstart a spark. And I think the minor villains and the sidekicks could do that, but they don't want to do that because of the money, and they just don't care about the people that watch this. They just want the money, and they just want a quick, easy movie that just keeps rambling on and on and on and on, and no special qualities at all. But that's the aspects of sidekicks and minor villains, basically. That they're always treated as someone inferior to them, as I should say, in a posh voice. How it connects to guns in the game? Because minor antagonists, you always see them running around with guns, and they think, oh, why don't I use guns against the heroes? Now, few people have used guns, and they have never won. They have never won. Like, I can't name one minor villain that actually won against the villains with a gun. That's because if you use a gun correctly, if you have a super gun like Mista here, which I'm playing JoJo Bizarre Adventures right now, Eyes of Heaven. If you use like something like his power, like he can use a bullet, and his stand has a bullet. His stand is a bullet and has little men, and it can impact on those people. Or Whole Horse, like he has a gun, but it's just super. It's better than a gun. You know what I mean? Like something like that, like some gun that is super powered, or like some gun that doesn't, that literally is stronger than the superpowers. Super strength or something like that. You know what I mean? There's something like that, like something small. Doesn't have to be too big. You can make little adjustments, like, they could do like element bullets, like they'd be like, freeze, fire, and their own strengths and weaknesses, like gravity and all that stuff, but gravity can't be inflicted on heroes or villains or whatever, you know what I mean? Or they can't be inflicted by themselves, by gravity. You know what I mean? Like, weaknesses or strengths like that. Um, but I would put a powerful antagonist can be a better story, because if you have a good antagonist, you'll have a good story. If you have a good villain, you'll have a good story. If you have a good hero, you have a good story. You have to have a good sense of what makes a villain, because just ruling the world and destroying the galaxy isn't going to roll. Isn't really going to keep going on forever. We're not going to keep on this never-ending road of heroes winning the battle in the end and villains always losing. We're now going to the new age where where you have to think of something creative. Sorry, Hollywood, you have to do it, because no one's gonna buy shit anymore. You have to think. Oh wait, I have cajillion ideas of heroes versus villains. But no, no, no. Hollywood wouldn't hire me, because they just rammed up their butts and just want to remake the whole thing over and over again. So, I don't care. Let Hollywood go down in flames by themselves. By themselves. Let them go down in flames by themselves. Because I have a lot of good ideas for heroes versus villains. Like, antagonists. You can have the antagonists feel guilt, kind of feel like he's judging the higher up. Or he could be that he's so loyal that he knows what the villain will do to him after it's done. Because you see, these antagonists don't know what happens when they actually do it. Because when they think, oh, if I just kill this person, then I'll just get money and fame. But no, it's not the truth. Because even after they do that, the villains will just kill them. Some villains will kill them. Some villains would give them what they desire. But at the end of the day, minor antagonists and minor villains should be respected a little bit more. Like not respected like, oh, they should win every single battle. I'm saying like they should get a chance and they should have a fair fight. But no, it's never that. It's never a fair fight. If it was a fair fight, it'd be a nice movie. For me, at least. But no, everyone wants a happy ending. Everyone wants a jolly good ending where ponies and rainbows all go over the rainbow. This is why everyone likes the Tobey Maguire or goddamn Spider-Man, because Tobey Maguire Spider-Man literally has realism. In the first movie, the Spider-Man we knew, he knows the first Spider-Man, like he's gonna win, like he's gonna win because he's gonna win, and in the first movie, this first Spider-Man movie, you think, oh, he shouldn't be he just kind of does deserve it because the Green Goblin was going to do stuff. But he didn't, but yeah, the Green Goblin was just going to rule the world or destroy the world. Well, not necessarily. He was trying to kill all the people who fired him, but that's a long story, but still. He still is demented, he still is crazy. But it doesn't, it depends on what you look at it. See if Spider-Man would be considered justifiable to kill. Well, he didn't kill the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin actually killed himself. So, I don't know what to say actually, to be honest. But you know what I mean. And in the second one, he has to take on responsibility because with great power comes great responsibility. And in the second one, he has all the stress. Peter Parker has all the stress under his skin. Like he has to do school, he has to get a job, he has to get Mary Jane to like him. Even though he can get Mary Jane's approval by being Spider-Man, but he can't be Spider-Man so much. He can't be Spider-Man and do regular things. That's why he gave up, and that's when when Stan Lee was going to leave, he wrote that, and that was his probably goodbye message, saying that he's not going to do comics. But that was the only moment, because you see, he realized that when Peter Parker gave up, he gave up the suit. That means Stanley was giving up because he was just writing comics for kids. But everyone loved him. Everyone loved him, and then in Spider-Man 2, he realized, Peter Parker just realized as well, as him, that he is still considered the best man ever. You know what I mean? And in Spider-Man 3, I loved that. That was like after for number 1 and 2, like you kind of sympathize with Peter Parker because you grew with him. He kind of grew with you. He was like a character for you. He lost his love, he lost his everything, and Venom takes him over like some sort of parasite, like what we all do, which we all do. Like we let something or someone take over us, and we kind of feel like we're dicks after that, after those moments. Like we're dickheads, and like we're not always like nice and jolly, and we're not always trying to keep happy and try to be positive, you know what I mean? And that's what emo Spider-Man teaches us, that we could do that as well. And that's a good message, to be honest. And Sandman confessing that he killed, Uncle Ben, and you kind of feel sorry for Sandman because he did try to do it for his kid, and he was cluttered with mines. Peter forgiving Sandman was pretty emotional because you see the uh, you see the you see the dreariness and all that stuff as he sees what happened. You know what I mean? He imagines in his head that he didn't kill Uncle Ben, and you know what I mean? And it's just impacts. It's really good. But do I think that people would make more minor villains better and sidekicks way better? No, because all people want to do is have a happy ending at the end. So that's it. That's the aspects of minor villains, antagonists, and also sidekicks. But thank you. Jesus.